The Justice League has seemingly died, and the Dark Crisis is on its way. What does this mean for the DC Universe? Well, Black Adam has been trying to create a new league of superheroes to defend the planet from the multiversal destruction that is the Dark Crisis. And while this is going on, Deathstroke is being controlled by the evil villain known as Pariah and being forced to use a dark army to keep all of the Justice League back. And while that is going on, we have discovered that the Justice League did not in fact die, but have been transformed into weapons, where they are currently living within their own worlds created for them to power up a massive weapon that will eventually bring on the Dark Crisis. This is Comicstorian. I bring you some of your favorite comic books, I break them down into audio dramas, and I read them back to you, allowing you to keep up with your favorite comic books while giving you something to collect and be aware of that exists. Today's episode is brought to you by a couple of our sponsors, G Fuel, where you can use the code COMICS at checkout to get yourself 10% off of your order, and Shortboxed, an app where you can click the link down below and have a chance to win a free comic book. And it's also brought to you by my daily podcast show, Absolutely Marvel and DC. You can find that link as well down below. Now, in our last Core Dark Crisis video, Black Adam sought the help of the Legion of Doom to try and win the fight against Pariah and the Great Darkness, with the determination to be able to kill those who stand against them. However, while explaining the situation to the new Justice League, which is what he was intending to call them, Deathstroke attacked with his Dark Army. And that clash of evil villains versus the darkness that is the Dark Army, Pariah needed to power his machine, resulting in him creating infinite Earths. As the corruption of darkness infects the multiverse, the fight between Deathstroke's army and the Legion of Doom is raging on, and Black Adam calls upon the power of Shazam! However, he's quickly silenced as Sinestro places a lock over his mouth before he could say anything else. Sinestro and the others tell him to join them, but at that moment, a portal opens up and Sideways steps out looking at the scene. Holy crap! Mr. Terrific hurries over, grabbing Black Adam, telling him that he's got him. Now let's get the hell out of here. Just as quickly as Sideways' portal opened, the portal closes, leaving Lex Luthor to fend for himself. Back at the Hall of Justice, Black Adam catches his breath, asking, "You saved me. Why?" And Nightwing tells him, "You left your Justice League communicator on. You're lucky that we found you. If it were, say, the Legion of Doom, they would have left you for dead. Did you find what you needed, Mr. Terrific?" Mr. Terrific says that he was able to do a quick scan of Deathstroke and the Dark Army. Slade is the key to everything. His forces not only attack heroes, but they spread the darkness. And as that darkness is growing, so too do the foes of the dark multiverse. They are on the edge of a massive crisis. A dark crisis. Meanwhile, over on Earth Batman, the world that was created to turn Batman into a weapon, Barry Allen, who is currently freed from his imprisonment, races around Batman trying to tell him what's going on. "Come on, Bruce! We've done this dance before!" And Batman tells him, "After our last meeting, I'm prepared. I don't need to hit you, just create something to stop you." He throws a small device that literally drains the speed force out of Barry Allen. Hal tells him, "But are you prepared for me?" And Hal Jordan chimes in, "If you're prepared for him, that means that our Bruce is still inside. This prison world is fading." Hal looks at his ring, seeing his ring telling him that this world is just an illusion. "Huh, my ring's not gone. It's just hidden. But it can't hide from my will." Batman turns his attention to the Green Lantern. "Your will is nothing. There is only night." Is that so? Maybe in order to make you realize that this world is fake, I have to show you the real world, Bruce. As Hal projects an image of the entire Bat family, Batman stops, seemingly coming to his senses. How? He begins to feel weak with Barry catching him. Hey, that wake-up moment can be a real doozy, but we need your help. Green Lantern lands asking, "So how do we free the rest of the League from these fake realities and get all of us home? How do we make them see that their worlds are a lie?" And Batman turns to his two allies. "Who else do we know that is an expert in the truth?" Back on Earth Zero, the call goes out to gather as many heroes as possible, ranging from the old and the new. But there's one that no one expected to respond. Beast Boy, wearing an eye patch, stepping out. "I survived, and I got a score to settle." Nightwing runs over, telling him that he was so worried, but Beast Boy tells him, "I know. I could tell you were by my bedside the whole time." Alan Scott chimes in. It looks like we've got our first line of defense. The JSA have total faith in you. Nightwing tells him that he wishes that they had more time, and Alan tells him, it's always like that, isn't it? We'll handle the multiverse. Make sure that we have a home to come back to. But at that moment, John Kent calls out holding a machine. Nightwing, the Great Darkness is not controlling Pariah. Pariah's mind has corrupted it. But we weren't able to find out how. However, we did extract Pariah's original antimatter chamber. It was the machine that Pariah built on his world that would trigger the destruction of the original Infinite Earths at the original crisis. At that moment, Wally and the other Flashes run over. Hey, we've got company. There's a rumble as Deathstroke rallies his army outside of the Hall of Justice. If there are any heroes, past, present, or future, I warned you! Everyone preps to hold the line, but as Nightwing is stepping forward to lead them into this final battle, Black Adam stops him. Are you insane? You are marching towards death! What makes you think that sidekicks will succeed where many others have failed? The multiverse will not be saved by mere children. You are not the Justice League. And Nightwing looks back at every one of the heroes, every one of the sidekicks, every one of the children. Yeah, we never were. We're the Titans! As the fighting begins, Deathstroke walks through watching. These children are trying to step into their parents' shoes again. How many times does that have to end in tragedy? Then he looks over at Ravager. Except for you. Prove me wrong. Kill Nightwing. But as the fight for the Hall of Justice is well underway, over in Superman's private world, it's already started to come undone as he sits on his farm looking at a picture of the family. After a few moments, he tells Wonder Woman that she can put the lasso away. He already understands what is happening. Barry tells him that he can move them all between worlds, but he can't get enough speed to get them out to join the confrontation. Superman smiles. You've done enough, old friend. Hal will find a way to bring us together. Thank you. Hal is surprised. You know, Superman's surprisingly calm. That's because he's angry. When he's really calm, it's because he's really angry. Batman informs him. Superman says, I tried to escape this world many times, but it wouldn't let me. So instead I studied it. Pariah has used our minds to build our dream worlds, but I've become lucid. This place is only a prison so far as our imagination will let it be. Pariah thought that he could keep me trapped here by giving me a happily ever after with my family. He thought it would be enough. But it was still a world without the Justice League. For us to escape this place, we have to focus on our friends. The one thing that is real in these worlds. Meanwhile, back with Kyle Rayner and Joe, Pariah is watching as his infinite Earths flood into the multiverse. At last, my world will return! However, as the worlds begin to break apart, he is puzzled. What is going on? The Earths, they're unstable. I'm losing power. At that moment, there's an explosion as Superman appears, leading everyone. You're done. End this now. No. My machine needs your power for Infinite Earths to return. This is far from over. I killed you. Your very existence is tied to these new worlds created in your image. If these worlds die, you will be erased. Soon my curse will be lifted, and I will know happiness again. The multiverse will be restored. Superman steps forward. At what cost? What you're offering us isn't real. Neither is what the darkness promised you. At that moment, everything begins to shake as Pariah asks, do you feel it? Your hopes have finally been answered. The crisis calls you. What happens next is on you. Pariah fades into nothing, and down on Earth, the effects of his machine can be felt. While still fighting against Deathstroke, there's a massive explosion. On the moon, Hal asks, what did Pariah mean? If they go home, the Justice League will be erased? And back on Earth, Black Adam says, I was right. You weren't enough. Today is truly the end. The true darkness is here. And before them, adding to Deathstroke's army, is Pariah and the rest of the Dark Army. And that concludes issue number 5 of the main Dark Crisis storyline. Where are we gonna go next? I don't know. But there's a few other one-shot storylines that we're going to be bringing you very soon right here at the Comicstorian channel. A Wonder Woman story, a John Constantine story, and I'm pretty sure there's another one that we missed out on. This is Chapter 5. There's a lot of side stuff, and it's all in one big playlist. You can find that down below. And if you want this channel to continue growing and continue to succeed, then I need your help. Just let me know in the comments down below what you think about the Dark Crisis situation. I'm kind of enjoying the scale that this is bringing to the events over at DC, and I thought this would be a fun episode to bring to you guys to keep you up to date. We're coming to the conclusion, so just a few more tie-ins, and then by December, the whole story will officially wrap up. But don't forget, we're also covering Batman, where he's fighting against his own failsafe program. We're also covering Spider-Man, where we're seeing what's happening ever since the Spider-Man Beyond situation. And you can also join us over at our podcast channel, Absolutely Marvel and DC, where I'd love to have you a part of that family. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time, right here.